there are 5 kids. Now, trust exercises are a game that all 5 of us like to play, even the 2 youngest, who are both recently 4 years old. Now, Allie and Noah understand trust games very differently from myself and my other 2 siblings, who are a little bit older than them. Actually, there's about a 15-year age difference between them and Allie and Noah. Noah, if you tell him to play the trust game with you, falls back before you're actually ready to catch him. That's how much faith he has in us. Allie, on the other hand, tends to put her foot back instead of actually fall back for us. So apparently there's some trust issues with her that we still need to work out. Now, the idea of being able to trust the people that are closest to you is the idea we're going to be discussing as we cover the 1948 film, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Now, in this speech, we're going to be dissecting this film in 3 parts. First, we will give a synopsis of the plot line of the movie, because in order to understand the message of something, you need to know the storyline that it uses to convey that message. And then obviously the second point will be discussing what the message of the Treasure of the Sierra Madre is. And then finally, we will discuss the response that those that adhere to a Christian worldview can have towards this film. So let's jump right into the first point, giving a generic plot synopsis, because I am not going to be able to tell you the whole storyline, but I can tell you the main one. Now, at the beginning of the film, we are introduced to 2 gentlemen who are named Dobbs and Curtin. That's an unfortunate name, but hey, that's his name. Now, Dobbs and Curtin have recently been cheated out of their salaries by their employer, and this leaves them destitute. They don't know what they're going to do in order to make up for the money that was not given to them. So on their little adventure in order to try and figure out how to make up these wages, they meet a man named Howard in the town of Tampico. Now, Howard is a miner. He's called a prospector, and he tells them that if they come with him, he'll be able to help them find enough gold that they won't ever have to worry about employment or missing wages ever again. So obviously the 2 men jump right on this bandwagon and travel with Howard to the Sierra Madre Mountains. Now, the trio is successful. They manage to find enough unrefined gold in the Sierra Madre Mountains that they can fill up 3 bags full, 1 for each man. They decide to split everything up evenly because they all contributed to the work. But then Dobbs gets greedy, and he decides that the other 2 men are not trustworthy with their share of the gold. They're not going to spend it on things that are as productive as what he wants to do with the money. He decides that he cannot trust them with this wealth. So he ends up killing his 2 companions and runs away with all of the gold. But unfortunately for Dobbs, it's not a happy ending. Bandits catch him on his way through a mountain pass back to civilization, and they kill him. And then the bandits look through his luggage and take what they believe is valuable, but when they see the 3 bags of gold, they mistake it for sand and dump it out. And that's how the movie ends. What then is the message found in the Treasure of the Sierra Madre? Well, it's really twofold. First, that you do need to trust the people who are closest with you. Curtin was Dobbs's friend, and Howard was a man that gave him no reason to mistrust him. Howard was very kind to him, wanted to help him in his destitution, and Dobbs turned against him just for the sake of greed. And that's the second message of the Treasure of the Sierra Madre, what real treasure is. And obviously in this storyline, the real treasure would be the companions that Dobbs sacrificed in the name of trying to get more money than the other 2 had. He was in this for material wealth rather than for real wealth, and in the end it costed him his life, and his treasure was thrown away back into the desert of the Sierra Madre Mountains. Now, there's no real worldview we can attach to this, as this is central to many worldviews, but that's what the message of the Treasure of the Sierra Madre is. The response then, as those that adhere to a Christian worldview, is a positive one. Several times in the scriptures, the idea of understanding real treasure is not your material wealth is expressed, as well as the idea of having trust for those that are closest to you. Jesus believed very strongly in the idea of standing with your family and your friends and in having faith in them, especially those that really do have your best interest at heart. Right now, Allie and Noah have two very different understandings for trust games. Noah jumps before we're actually ready for him. Allie is not quite ready to make that leap yet. And the very same concept is true for the film The Treasure of the Sierra Madre. Dobbs was not ready to make that leap yet. He was also not ready for the vast amount of wealth that was made available to him. And in the end, not only did this cost him the wealth or the treasure that he found, it also cost him his own life and the lives of those that were supposed to be very dear to him, the people that just had his best interest at heart. So when we look at the treasure of the Sierra Madre, we can recognize that the treasure is not the gold. The treasure is the people that are in our lives, and we need to make sure to understand